Hi y'all, welcome to my channel, and in today's video I am going to be sharing with you our first grade curriculum picks for the 2020-2021 school year. So stay tuned. Alright you guys, well if you are new, welcome to my channel, Pursuing Peace. My name is Dina and I am a homeschool mom of 5 kiddos, 6 and under. And on this channel I share my passions for Christ, for homeschooling, and for encouraging mamas in their faith and in this crazy but amazing season of motherhood. So if you'd like to join me on this journey, then click the subscribe button down below, and don't forget to click the little bell icon also, so that way you know whenever new videos pop up. You can also follow me over on Instagram at Dina_pursuing_peace if you'd like to get an inside glimpse on what we do on a daily basis. All right, you guys, well, it is that time of year. Everything is about homeschool curriculum and what we're gonna pick, what somebody else has picked, what can work for us. And so I'm going to be sharing with you what we picked for our first grader. And let me share with you where he fits in the lineup. So I've got my oldest, she is going into 2nd grade, and then my next oldest is going into 1st grade. So that's who we'll be talking about today. So first thing I want to do is I want to give you a little bit of background. So we are a military family, which means we move around a lot. We have actually moved around 9 times in the last 11 years. So it has been kind of a whirlwind, but it has been also such a blessing because God has grown us spiritually through all of those different moves. And so it has been a blessing, and I wouldn't trade it for the world, honestly. A couple of years back I probably couldn't say that, but honestly now I can see that God is just growing us through all of this. So anyway, so because of that, our last year, our 2019-2020 school year, was crazy. So in the year 2019, we lived in Texas at the beginning of it, in Arizona in the middle of it, and then moved here to South Carolina at the end of it. Oh, and we also had a baby at the end of that year. So 2019 for us was really just a whirlwind. So because of that, our schooling got a little behind. I hate saying behind because I'll tell you why in just a bit. But at the beginning of 2020, right after I had my last baby, I also had some health issues that were making things a little bit more complicated, having more doctor's appointments, and just not feeling up to par as far as being able to homeschool and be consistent with homeschooling. And so what actually has helped us catch up just a little bit has been this pandemic that's happening in the world. And I'm not going to say like I'm grateful for the pandemic, although the Bible says to be thankful for everything, but I am thankful for the results that has happened within our family because of it. And just kind of, we've been able to kind of relax and stop, because I felt like maybe I was getting a little bit too overwhelmed at everything that we were doing outside of the home. So I was able to stop and relax and kind of reevaluate, okay, what is really important in our family and in our family structure, and how are we going to go about in the future deciding on what we do outside of the home. And so anyway, that's not what this video is about, but I wanted to share with you a little bit of background on our curriculum picks, and you'll see just in a bit why we are using some curriculum that you probably wouldn't expect in 1st grade. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and turn the camera around, and I'm going to show you what we've got. Okay, so first things first. Here we have language arts level K. Okay, so you probably wouldn't expect a kindergarten to be in a 1st grade curriculum video, but the good and the beautiful, their levels are actually advanced. So I'm not very concerned that he is going to still be in level K. If you saw my mid-year update of kindergarten, and I'll leave that in the description box below so you can check it out if you want to, but you saw that he was having some issues. So we actually had to pause this for like about a month or so because he was just not ready for the reading in all of this. And so That's why, in combination with, you know, our year being just a little bit all over the place, we just haven't finished this yet. We are almost done. I don't know what that is. We are almost done. We are on unit 4 and it's got 5 units. And so we are pretty close to the end here. So we don't have a whole lot to go. I figured out that we have maybe about 3 more months of this. Maybe a little bit less. So I'm not really going to do a flip through of this curriculum right now. I do have a kind of flip through and comparison of this edition versus the older edition, and I'll leave that linked below so you can check that out. And to go along with this, we are doing the level K reader, and this is also broken up into sections. This is actually the 2nd edition, so it might look a little bit different than the 3rd edition. The stories, I think, as far as the words are the same, but some of the illustrations might be a little bit different. And he really likes these. He likes reading them to his dad. And these are actually really easy for him compared to the mini books. The mini books aren't that difficult for him. He actually really likes like seeing the different challenge words and stuff like that in the mini books. But they're more challenging. Like they are there to help him progress further. As opposed to, I feel like this is more like to maintain his reading, and this is like more to push him forward. So we definitely do both. And the mini books, I just keep them all in a baggie like this. And these are the ones, like this will be his next one. And when we're done reading God Gave Us the Sun, I'll just stick it into the back here. So all of the mini books are in here. So it's super easy to keep track of them. So yeah, so this is the level K reader that comes with the course book. The mini books come with the course book also. And in addition, we are also doing the beginner books box C. And these, we haven't started these yet, but he can start box C now. It tells you in the level K book when to start these. And these are so neat. He loves the box A and box B, and so these are going to be his next big boy books, and I'm excited for him. Now these don't have anything in the front other than these challenge words, so he'll be able to kind of have these and do kind of like sight words on here, but other than that, there's nothing. In box A and box B, there are like little activities that you can do with vowels and different things like that, and those were really good, and he loved doing those also. So these are going to be a little bit different for him, but I think he's up to the challenge, and I think that it's going to be good. So let me show you the back here. So yeah, so there's 10 books in the whole thing, and they all look super cute. I'm looking forward to this. And then we also have box D, and these are kind of the same thing. All the books are in here, and I love these little boxes. They look really cute on my shelf. And then these are all the books in the beginner books box D, and these, they're perfect like for where they're at. That's what I love about getting these readers specifically from The Good and the Beautiful, and I love that they come with all of these different variety of readers, because it is so hard to find a reader you know, just out and about, whether it's Bob Books or I Can Read Books or just different things like that, that have words that are in the exact place for where your child is as far as reading. Like, it's so hard to find books like that. Like, they have either they have words that are too advanced or they're too easy, and it's just it's hard to find it. At least that's what I have found. So having these beginner readers and books that he actually really likes are really great. So thank you, Good and the Beautiful, for making that super easy for me. Okay, so once he finishes that, then he goes to level 1. And so I'm not really sure how this is going to work, if we are going to finish level 1. Looks like it's got 5 units also. I don't know if we are going to finish level 1 here, or if we are going to have to also do it in 2nd grade, which again I am completely okay with, because it's advanced. So by the time he gets done with level 1, he is going to be doing 2nd grade stuff, so that's completely fine. So the way that this one is, it's got the same kind of idea as level K. This is for the phonics cards, and once they master 1 through 56, then they get to color that. 57 through 90, 90 through 124, and that's always a fun reward for them. Here are the sight word ladders, and so once he masters a sight word ladder, he can pick an animal and he can color it. I think he's gonna like that. And then here are the overview. See, they've got spelling words, they've got the supplies that you need. They kind of tell you what you're going to go over as far as phonics and grammar, what books are used in level 1, which all of this is like stories in the level 1 reader. Writing and other principles taught in unit 1. Sorry, I was saying level 1, but this is just for unit 1. So yeah, so I already know what words he's going to learn how to spell and what principles are going to be taught. And so yeah, so this is just so beautiful. I've already done this with my daughter and she absolutely loved it. I mean you, yeah. And there is just so many good things, these little letter tiles in here that you can cut out. And he loves playing with this kind of stuff, y'all. He keeps these for a long time. I actually found some from the beginning of his level K book in his room the other day. So unit 1 assessment. At the end of every unit, they have an assessment kind of showing you, okay, this is what he is good on and this is what he might need to work a little bit more. And it'll tell you whether or not it's okay to keep going or if you need to kind of pause and work on the things they need to work on. So yeah, so you're starting to read bigger words, which I am to the point where I'm to the point where I trust this. Like I see this and I'm like, there's no way that he's gonna be ready for this. But I thought that at the beginning of level K and I can't even believe where he's at now. So I see this and I'm like, I trust it. We trust the curriculum. We know it works. It has proven time and time again that it works. And so I trust it. I know when he gets to this point, be able to read the word booth, you know? Oh, this is such a great activity. I remember this one. It's writing a thank you note or letter to a family member and you send it off and you can cut up this pretty little envelope, make it into a card. Oh, I mean, how wonderful is that? So yeah, so I love this and artwork, like everything The Good and the Beautiful does. And I just happen to go to all the artwork, I guess. It incorporates so much artwork. And I wasn't exposed to a whole lot of artwork growing up. And so I am so thankful that it does do that because I wouldn't think to teach my kids that. Is that bad? I keep accidentally flipping to like these pages, but it's just because they have activities on the other side where you cut stuff. So they leave it blank so that way. So they're not all blank, see? It's not all one-sided. So look, this is one of my favorites here too, is they're learning how to spell using sign language. I love sign language and having this in there is just really great. Let me show you the back of the book, kind of like where they're gonna be at this point. Okay, so they do this a lot where they have to fill in. So it's red and red. I think those are homophones. So they sound the same, but they're spelled differently and they have to go in and fill in which red applies to these sentences. And they do that a lot with like B, and they do that a lot with the word like to, T-O, to, T-W-O, and to, T-O-O. And I love that they do that a lot with that because that's something some adults need. Oh, some adults need to learn how to do that. Oral narration. They've got these poems throughout the book. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. He's going to love this. He's my little bear cub. That is like a self-proclaimed name that he has given himself. He is my bear cub. So yeah, so I think this is the end. They do have spelling charts in the back here if you want to use them. I have not used them so far. And then these are just different assessments that you do throughout the book. So yeah, so that is level 1. Along with level 1, we have the level 1 reader. And this is the updated version of it. And look at these pictures, you guys. They're just so cute. Oh my gosh. And so they're different stories. And then the book will prompt you when to read the different stories. And Yeah, these readers are just so super cute. He's just going to love it. I love it. They do a good job of having stories that has a girl as its main character, and then stories that have boys as their main characters. And so they do a really good job. And I feel like I can use this for both boys and girls. And so that's really good. Along with their language arts, I wanted to show you guys this. So I made them a student notebook, and I say them because I made one for Abigail, for my oldest too. And I actually show one of these in last year's curriculum for level 1. And I got this idea from Jess over at Prayers and Ponytails, and she was my very first friend, mama friend here on YouTube. And she is just so amazing, and I love her. And she gave me this idea of using a happy planner to make a student notebook. And so this is the first year that I actually design one myself, because he's a boy and happy planners tend to not be very boyish. And so I designed it using printables that I found from Etsy, and I've also designed a few things myself. But I use this to go along with their language arts, because I will show you why. So this is the cover of it. He loves space. And this one in here I designed myself, and it says, "Today I am thankful for," and it's laminated, so we can use a, maybe not dry erase marker, but a wet erase marker, and so that way it doesn't come off easily, and he can write down, you know, I'm thankful for mama or dada, or, you know, my sisters, or whatever it is that he's thankful for that day. And then these tabs, oh, I have not put what they're for, but it's okay. These tabs I actually got, they came with the printable for this. So this, and then all these tabs are in one printable, and I'll leave that link down below so you can check out the printable if you want to. And all of this is just fun facts of the different planets. My boy is obsessed with all of the planets in the solar system, so I thought he would like this. So if you open this first tab here, it's just lined paper. It's a free printable online. I think it's like Super Page Mom or something like that. I'll leave it down below. We're going to use this for like spelling. So whenever the book calls to spell out words or to write a sentence or anything like that, then he has this lined paper here that's made, I guess what it's called, primary lined paper. I can't remember what it's called. But he has this paper so we can do that. And before, what I had was a separate tablet that had this lined paper in it, and that was fine, except this has everything in one place, and you'll see what I mean in just a bit. So yeah, so we can use this for spelling. This other tab here, this is another part of that printable. It's just the different phases of the moon. And then this, I think they called it show and tell paper. So he can draw, and then he can write a sentence. And we use this a lot as far as storytelling and narration and different things like that, where if I'm reading something to him, he can either write a sentence down and then draw it up here, or just draw what I am reading to him and stuff like that. And so this is just kind of storytelling notebook paper, and that's all what this tab is. And then over here we've got just different things like, did you know this and did you know that about the different planets and about our solar system. So that is the tab there, and this is all art paper. And I just cut these down from an art book that I have. I actually got watercolor paper from Target, and I am going to cut that down also and put it in here, because the language arts does call for a lot of watercolor art. Is that even the right way to say that? I don't know, but that's what it calls for. And so I want to be able to have watercolor in there. And see, I like that it's all in one place, as opposed to having a tablet for watercolor, a tablet for lined paper, and then a tablet for that show and tell paper. I just like having it all in one place, and this has proven to be really great. We did this last year with my oldest daughter, and it has been really a great tool to have. And this I designed on Canva. It says, "In the beginning, God." So I just created that on Canva. And then I created this also, the back cover, and it says, "I love you to Pluto and back." This is something that he tells me all the time, because Pluto is the furthest planet from the sun. I guess it's a dwarf planet now, but he says, "I love you to Pluto and back" a lot. So I wanted to put this in the back of his cover. So yeah, so this is a student notebook to go along with our language arts. Okay, so the next thing we have here is Math Level K. He did finish Math Level K Part 1, but he only finished Part 1, and so now we are going into Part 2. He is doing really good. I actually didn't start him on math till halfway through the year, so he is actually right on track with this. I just started him later than I usually would because I didn't think he was ready at the beginning of the year, and then at the middle of the year I thought he was, so we just started that. And he has loved this math so far. He loves numbers. He is picking up on it so quickly. He loves like this kind of stuff. He loves, I can't say enough good things about this math curriculum. Like, it is just so good, so hands-on, and sometimes he gets concepts and we don't need to do a lot of the like different activities because he's got it. And so what we do is we just skip those different activities. The activities are meant to kind of cement the idea into his head, but if he's got it, he's got it, and so we don't have to do it. So these are just like fact family cards that you cut out, and then these are junior artist cards. He's gonna love all of these. He loves playing with those tanagrams. So if you saw my preschool curriculum, you know that my preschooler is actually starting on Math Level K Part 1. So that's not normally an issue, except that it only has, or at least we only have, one activity box. So if you saw last year's curriculum videos that I put out, you know that we put all of their curriculum in one of those Latchmate bins, and the math activity manipulatives fit into the Latchmate bin very nicely. But I can't have them only in Solomon's bin or only in Aubrey's bin. It's something that they are going to have to share. So thankfully I still have this box. You can see it's kind of worn because it has moved with us for a couple of years now, but thankfully I still have this box. And so what I did is I just reorganized everything into the box. So I want to show you in here. So we've got the Rec and Rec over here. This is the baggie that the math cubes came in, so that's nothing different. Here is one of those crayon cases that I got that I use for their crayons, but the tanagram pieces fit very nicely into here. This little container I got at the Dollar Tree, and this has all of their the money in here, the coins, because it does call for that. The coins do not come with a math activity kit. You have to have these on hand yourself, which this shouldn't be too hard to handle. This here, oh, this has been such a time saver, you guys. This little container I got at the Dollar Tree. And I have in here all of their little math manipulatives. Like, so here's the bee manipulatives, and here are the garden manipulatives, which I didn't have this last year. And it always took me so long to figure out, okay, well, which ones are we using? Because they were all in one bag, the garden manipulatives. And I'm like, oh, it just takes me so long. I had to dump it all out every time. And so having this, it's just such a time saver. And then you've got the little inchworm manipulatives. Are so cute. And then we've got our 10-sided die right here. And so this fits all of that, and it fits very nicely into here just like that. So, but let me show you what else we got. So then this is just like an index card holder, and I've got all of his little flashcards in here, like the shape cards, the number flashcards, the 10-frame flashcards. They're all separated in here by divider, and they fit very nicely into this container. And I got this container at, I want to say, Staples. Now this here, these are the 10 frames, and what I did is I hole punched them and I put a ring on them so they're super easy to pull out. Okay, so let me show you how I do this, because what I wanted is I didn't want to have to take absolutely everything out every time I had to pull something out. Okay, so let me show you how this works. So say I just need the 10 frames. And I don't need anything else. So if I just need the 10 frames, then I just have this here, and I can just pull this out, and then I have all of them. So it'll lay pretty flat on the table, even with the ring on it. So it works really well. And then when I'm done, okay, this is hard to do with one hand, but when I'm done, I just put it right back in. Same thing with the tanagram cards. I have them hole punched and then they're all together. I've seen some people bind these also, which I think would probably work too, but I didn't want to have to take it and go bind it. So I just hole punched it, and I had these rings. I got a pack at Walmart a year ago, and they have lasted for a long time. And if I did want to take just a few out or have a few kind of laid out at once, then this, I could just open it up and pull it out. And so it's super easy. And so now that it is all together, okay, this is going to be hard. It's not going to really show you how it works. But, okay, it wasn't so bad. So it just kind of slides back in. And then all the big cards are in the back there. As far as the number cards, and then also the part hold mat is back there, and that's pretty easy to grab. You know, you can just slide it out without having to take everything out. So yeah, so this is the math activity box. Once he is done with this level K, we will be moving on to level 1, but I haven't even gotten that book yet because it probably will take us the whole semester to go through the book. That's kind of what it's made for, and so I don't anticipate going into level 1 math until about January. All right, and next we have handwriting. Handwriting level 1. And he absolutely loved the handwriting level K. And so this is just going to be in continuation of that. He is excited to dive into this. And it's just got some great activities. What does this say? Color the jars so it looks like they contain different color jams. So, oh, that's going to be so cute. So I love that all of their handwritings have these different activities. It's not just like a whole sheet of just handwriting. And I know later on they do like scripture, and they do, you know, different quotes and stuff like that later on in the different levels. Like this, here's a sentence, I have 8 flowers. So it's just the variety. I think that's what I'm trying to say. Like, I love the variety in this, because repetition is good. And while repetition is good, you can still have the same repetition within variety. And so I like that The Good and the Beautiful does that. And that's what I like about their language arts. It's not the same thing every time, the same format every week. It's got variety in there. And so that's really neat. Be kind always. God bless our home. Ugh. I'm glad to be me. You guys, I will stand with God. I can work hard. I mean, come on. Come on. Oh, this is so good. Look at this tree house. He's going to want me to build a tree house. Oh, man. So, yeah. So this level 1, it should last us the whole year. I usually have them only do about 1 page a day. And once they're done with this, I don't move them on to the next level until the next year, because handwriting is one of those things that needs to, like, it's more than just learning how to write the shapes of the letters. You've got to develop muscle strength and different things like that. So the handwriting, I usually keep it at their level, and then once they move to the next level, that's when I switch it over. All right, and the last thing I've got here for first grade is classical conversations. So we are going to be doing classical conversations for Solomon also, and we are going to be doing cycle 3. Here it is. And I'm going to be doing a video on classical conversation, specifically as far as like what we're going to use, what I use to supplement it, and what it is exactly. But basically at this level, it is just memory work. It has memory sentences and memory work for math, Latin, science, English, timeline, history, geography, and then every week at Community Day, we do projects, and then we study something in the fine arts. So I love this because you can go as deep as you want with it, or you can just do it very surface level and only memorize the memory work. This is kind of our guide for our science and our history. So we're going to be studying the human body this year, and we are going to be studying American history this year. So if you're interested in classical conversation, conversations and knowing what it's about, or if you are a part of classical conversations and want to know like how do I teach my younger kids all of this stuff, then subscribe below, because I'm going to be doing a couple of videos on how we do that as a family of all younger kids, and what I'm going to use as far as books and materials and curriculum resources to supplement this curriculum. All right, you guys, well, those are our picks for the upcoming school year, and I just wanted to share with you too that because Solomon hasn't finished those, we actually haven't done his kindergarten graduation. I'm going to wait until he finishes the language arts curriculum, and then we're gonna have a big to-do, and I got his cap and gown already, and we are going to just celebrate him and his accomplishments, but we're gonna probably do that in the middle of the fall semester. And that's okay, we just kind of roll with the punches around here. So yeah, so that's gonna be a lot of fun. All right, you guys, well, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe. I have some more curriculum videos coming up. I still have my second grader curriculum picks, and then also what we're doing as family subjects. So make sure to subscribe and click the little bell icon so you know whenever those videos pop up. Well, I hope this video was encouraging and helpful. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below, or you can DM me over on Instagram at Dina_pursuing_peace. All right, you guys, well, I hope you're having a blessed day, and I will see you next week with another video. Bye.